Hello, my dear friends. You probably have had the same experience as I often do, and that is that there's a niggin playing in my head, and it plays over and over again, or a tune, and I don't even know where it comes from, and I wake up in the morning and it's playing, and then later in the afternoon it's playing, and go to sleep, it's still playing. That happened to me this week, not with a niggin, but with a pasuk in Chumash. The Torah says in Devarim, in Parashas, Moshe Rabbeinu says to the Jewish people, "Va'ata Yisrael, ma Hashem alkecha shalom mimcha." And now, Klal Yisrael, what is it that God is asking of you? So I have two questions. First of all, what does it mean? What is God asking? God didn't talk to me, so how should I know what God is asking? And secondly, why does it say Va'ata and now? What was so special about that moment that Moshe says Va'ata Yisrael? So I think the answer is that since we believe that nothing happens by accident in life, and everything is orchestrated by Kadosh Baruch Hu, so whatever we experience at any given moment, God arranged that on purpose, and we have to have a response to that. God is asking us to do something. We may not hear it, but it's implicit in the fact that something new happened. It's different than it was before. So there has to be, God is saying, okay, let's see how you deal with this situation. When we meet somebody, let's say, who's difficult, and we begin to get upset and angry. So God says, okay, you want to know, Ma Hashem alkecha shalom mimcha? God is asking us, let's see if you can control your anger. Let's see if you don't react in a negative way. That's just one example. So the Torah says, Va'ata Yisrael, and now, because every moment is different. Every moment's response. That's why it says the now, va'ata. It doesn't mean that single moment that Moshe Rabbeinu said that. It means Moshe is saying, this is how you have to always think. Va'ata, right now. Ma Hashem alkecha shalom me'imi. It says me'itcha, which is in singular, because God's not asking the same thing of me as asking from other people. Each person, as an individual, God is asking something every single moment. So if that's true, when things are going okay, and then things are calm. Certainly, it's true at a time like this, where there's such a terrible crisis for Klal Yisrael, and we've never the atrocities that took place October 7th. We haven't seen such horrible situations since the Holocaust, and the anti-Semitism that it's just unbelievable. The amount of anti-Semitism in the world today that keeps on emerging and unfolding. So certainly at a time like this, it's important if you say, Va'ata, okay, right now, Ma Hashem alkecha shalom mimcha. What is God asking of me? What could I do now? Should I respond? So you'll say to me, okay, great. So how am I going to know the answer to that question? Well, okay, good. These things happen for a reason, but how do I know what the reason is? So I would say that each person intuitively knows where they're able to change and where their areas of weakness are. And it at the very least, if the world is in turmoil and our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael are in crisis, at the very least, it's a time for us to think about, how could I do things better? How could I improve? How could I go to the next level of authenticity, of sensitivity, of religious commitment? How can I make my davening better? How can I learn Torah better? How can I change my midos for the better? But the most important point is that I have to feel that this is a message for me, that what's happening in Eretz Yisrael is not, it's just far away. It's not just that we feel the pain of our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael, but that God is talking to me as well. He's talking to every single one of us. He's talking to all of Klal Yisrael. So I have to find a way of responding to the situation. I have to find a way of doing things better than I've done them in the past, because it can't be that everything goes life as usual, just float along like we always did before. There has to be a unique response, and each person has to think about, okay, what can I do that is better? And if we will do that, it will certainly be a tremendous schus for Klal Yisrael. I've talked about before, the achdus that's prevailing in the world today is among Klal Yisrael. We haven't seen, just like we haven't seen such horrors since who knows when. So we also we haven't seen such achdus. Maybe it's decades since there's, maybe I don't even know when the last time there was such achdus, such unbelievable achdus. And that is a tremendous thing, that the Jewish people are unified, because Klal Yisrael is strongest, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu has the greatest compassion and love for us when we treat each other like brothers and sisters, and with tremendous love. And when we're unified, we're stronger. So that Achdus is certainly an area where it's important for us to continue to work on Achdus. But there are many areas where we need to improve. But Achdus is certainly one of those. I think in Eretz Yisrael the sense of Achdus is far greater than it is here in America. So we have to see that as an inspiration. If Hasidim and Misnagdim and Charedim and Chilonim and Ashkenazim and Sfardim, if they could all get together in Eretz Yisrael, so if they could do it, we certainly should be able to do it. Why shouldn't we be able to unify as well? And we need to feel that God is calling out to all of us. Now's the time to unite. Now's the time to join together. I noticed in this week's Parsha, when Yaakov travels after he leaves his house, so he travels and he comes to Haran, and he comes to the wells and and he sees the shepherds. He's about to meet Rachel. So Yaakov says to the shepherds, "Achai me'ayin atem, my brothers, where are you from?" So the word Achai is very strange. Why does he call them Achai? He doesn't know them. They're not related to him. It is total strangers. Rav Yaakov Kamenetsky asked this question. He says, it's always troubled me. Why does it say Achai? You don't use the word Achai when you're talking about a stranger. So I was thinking that because Yaakov just experienced the horrors of his brother hating him with such tremendous animosity and hatred that he wanted to murder him, and he had to flee like a fugitive. And he was already away from his father's house. This is already 14 years he spent in Yeshiva Shem Ve'aver. And he's destined to spend many more years in the house of Luban. So when Yaakov saw the horrible consequences of hatred from a brother, so Yaakov decided, I have to teach the mankind what it means to be unified. I have to teach others. That should be one of my life's missions. That should be one of the missions of Klal Yisrael, that we have to show what it means to have brotherly love. So therefore, when he saw the shepherds, he addresses them as strangers. But he just went through the horrors of a brother having such hostility and anger and hatred. So he's going to go to the opposite extreme, and therefore he says Achai, and that, the Parashas Shavua. So every Parashas Shavua, that's another way that God talks to us. In each Parsha, there's lessons that are relevant. Even the Torah was written thousands of years ago, but the Torah is always new. It's always Torah's Chaim. There's always a new lesson. This is a lesson in this week's Parsha that's relevant today, and that is that we have to feel Achai. We have to feel that people are our brothers, even if we don't know them, we never met them. We have to treat them as Achai. If Yaakov could do that to the shepherds, we could do it as well. We see somebody new, somebody that we never met before, and it's both Jew and non-Jew. We should be friendly. We should say hello to people. I always talk about the importance of when you walk in the street, you pass by somebody, say hello. It makes such a tremendous difference. It shows that we are friendly people and that we want to have relationships with others, and we want to be. People look at us as being sometimes as because we have our own culture and our own religion. They think that we're isolationists. We have to show, on the contrary, we care about society. We care about which is the truth. We care about everyone, and we need to demonstrate that by greeting people, by saying hello. So that, I think, is just one example of something that to work on at a time like this. That's one example where we could say that God is Ma Hashem Elokecha Shalom Imcha. What is God asking me? Certainly one area is to strengthen our unity, because at a time like this, Klal Yisrael needs to be unified, and we need to strengthen Achdus, and we have to feel our relationship to other is like brothers. That a brother takes care of his brother. That's how we have to treat others. But each person knows where they are deficient, where they can improve, and I think whatever we choose whatever quality we want to improve, whatever midah we decide we're going to deal with, how we improve our diving, we improve our learning, whatever we do, it's going to be a schus for Klal Yisrael, and it'll be an appropriate response. But there has to be a response to the circumstances in which we find ourselves, because it's Ati Yisrael Ma Hashem Al Ke'achal Shalom. God is asking us to do something, and we have to make sure that we respond in these very difficult times.